A voter that supported Trump in 2016 called into C-SPAN to say who they support for 2020. Watch.
Bernie supports the idea in Raleigh, North Carolina. Go ahead.
Yes, hi. Thanks for taking my call. Let me say this. For the last election, I trusted Trump. I thought he was going to throw a monkey wrench into the elite establishment and make America great again. And I'm just a regular guy. I'm in sales, and I thought that the whole economy would change across the spectrum. Well, here we are, 4 years later, and I got to say, he lied. I'm no better off. My friends who are regular workers are no better off. The Midwest, the Electoral College, no better off. And so this year, if I don't have someone to challenge him on our side, I'm voting for Bernie. I'm voting for Bernie because he makes the most sense. By the way, I'm paying $387 for a bottle of diabetic medicine. So there are a lot of issues I like with Bernie, and he just makes more sense. Thanks.
So, Bernie, healthcare for your top issue?
I'm sorry?
Is healthcare your top issue?
Absolutely. I think healthcare is a top issue for what we call human beings, because without our health, we're dead, you see. So health has to be the top issue for everyone, regardless of party. Would you agree?
Well, Bernie, let me ask you, so you voted for the president in 2016. How did you vote in the midterm elections in 2018?
I didn't.
You didn't? You stayed home?
I stayed home, yeah, because let me just put it to you this way. For the last 40 years, there have been 6 consecutive presidents that have favored the rich companies, and I'm a what you call an old-fashioned Republican. I don't go for other type stuff, which I won't get into. So that's why I voted for Trump, because he promised the Midwest is going to regain what it once had. Ask anyone in the Midwest. Ask people in the middle of the country, are they better off? The answer is hell no. And Bernie Sanders is the only person running that's for actual people.
So there you go. Now, what does conventional wisdom normally tell us? Oh, the Democrats have to nominate somebody that's moderate because they have to be able to appeal to Republican voters. So if you're trying to appeal to somebody on the right, trying to appeal to those conservative voters, well, your policies have to be somewhere in the middle, like a Joe Biden, somebody like that, where they can actually appeal to both sides. But that's not the fight. Hillary Clinton is the perfect example of that moderate candidate, and she lost to Donald Trump. So why hasn't conventional wisdom changed to recognize that the battle isn't really left-right, it's top-down? The actual battle is people realizing here that, as this caller pointed out, you've had all of these presidents represent the wealthy, represent massive corporations, represent people that are already at the top of society. Donald Trump, to this voter and to many voters, represented someone that would change the system, that would blow it up in some way or do something drastically different, because he wasn't a politician. He was a business guy. So he would change things and somehow make it better. We all knew at the time that was BS, but a lot of voters did not know that because they weren't actually familiar with Trump's horrible record as a businessman, as a failed businessman, as just a complete fraud. But a lot of these voters now have woken up. Now, look, of course, there are still Trump supporters, and a lot of those people are just supporting Trump because, we have to be honest, they're just completely racist. I mean, there's no reason at this point to vote for Trump. Trump hasn't done anything for the average person. He gave tax cuts to the rich. So, I mean, the idea that, Democrats have to nominate somebody that's moderate, someone in the middle. These voters didn't vote for Trump because they wanted tax cuts for the rich. They voted for Trump because they thought he would change things. The only reason you hear that conventional wisdom about Democrats needing somebody moderate is because the people on television that are presenting you the news, they themselves are those kinds of voters. The small sliver of voters that actually are Republicans that simply want their tax cuts, but they don't want all the racist stuff that Donald Trump puts out overtly. That's the difference here. So someone like Meghan McCain, who wants like a Joe Biden to vote for the Democratic Party, but she doesn't want to vote for Trump. Meghan McCain does not represent most people. Meghan McCain is a multi-millionaire who inherited everything she currently has. So this is the difference here. Actual Republican voters, actual conservative voters, except for the racist ones, the other conservative voters, they want somebody that will change the system, that will actually help people. The caller mentioned healthcare. I mean, you saw the Fox News town hall with Bernie Sanders. How everybody there supported Medicare for all. The people that had their private insurance, they understood that a lot of these people, they are stuck in their jobs because of that private insurance. Maybe they don't like their job. Maybe they want to leave. But because they have good private insurance, they're afraid of leaving. But under a Medicare for all system, they would be freed up. And that's just one example. Bernie talks again and again about issues that affect the working class, whether it's wages, whether it's healthcare, whether it's public transit, whether it's anything else. There needs to be an actual investment into people. And Trump, again, I mean, this is also part of the reason why why people were fooled by Trump, because Trump said that under his healthcare plan as a candidate, he said that everybody would be covered. He never actually had a healthcare plan that would cover everybody, but that's what he said. He also said that he wouldn't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid, but he is trying to cut all three. So, again, people were tricked. Yes, a lot of his base are just not good people and are incredibly racist. But there are people like this caller who thought that Trump would do something different, and they just weren't that informed. But now they understand that, yeah, Trump is a fraud, and the only other person that is in this race right now for 2020 that will actually change the system, and you can look at his record and understand what Bernie is about, and that he has fought for this the entire time, and that he's not corrupted by big money donors. He only takes money from individual donors. You know that Bernie, you can actually trust him at his word.